when you get these Deliveroo things, these Deliveroo riders are all Africans. They're all Africans. We can tell because some of them are Indian and that type of thing, right? But they're all foreign basically. You can hear them when on a mobile phones job on the way in African and stuff like that. Right? So they're all foreign. They're not what they call British black or something that have been here for a long time. They're foreign, straight from Africa, right? And this look at the symbol on the Deliveroo, right? That to me looks like it's the two finger symbol. Like someone sticking their two fingers up, as in up yours, pal, or whatever, right? That's what that looks like to me. And why are they all Africans, right? Because surely there's got to be 2 million more people in Britain, right, who've got no job, who would be prepared to deliver takeaways, right? Like British people, native people, who'd be prepared to deliver takeaways, in a car, or whatever, And it's like, no, to give the jobs to Africans, right? So basically, why they do this, right? It puts Africans into a service industry, right, which is ingratiating them into the society, right? Because when you take delivery over their takeaway, right, food is connected to like motherly matriarchal stuff, right? So it's like mother makes food and then gives it to the children, So when someone's delivering food, right, you become very grateful and all that. So the type of thing would be like one of these turns up with the takeaway and you say, oh, thanks mate, thanks mate, oh lovely service and all that, I mean, I don't use it obviously, but like that's what it would be. Here's a tip, here's £2.50 tip, lovely, great, thanks, and ingratiates them, see. So it's giving them the upper hand on the white native, that's obviously gormless enough to use the service or whatever, right? But it gives them that upper hand. It's similar to when they put Indians in, right, with corner shops. It ingratiates, right, to allow them to sort of come into the society, right? And then a couple of generations later, they're in, and they're accepted. So when they're taking these Africans, putting them on these positions, it's it's on the way to ingratiating them and slowly segue, putting them into the white society, right? These migrant boat crossings idea, right? See how Dover's connected, voodoo, it's voodoo, right? So again, they're doing the voodoo spell idea, but they're distracting with the small boats coming in on the coast of Dover or something, right? These are a total distraction, the illegal boat crossings from the legal, immigrations, because obviously, they want to come in and be made legal and given all the appropriate paperwork and all that to stay in the country, because then they can, obviously what they're going to do is ingratiate themselves in, eventually start breeding with the native women and what have you. And that's the game, that's the game of it, isn't it? Kalergi plant thing and all that. So this is just total distraction technique, the small boats. As you see here, there's a little news headline about refuses to set a deadline to reduce small boats. So, they're keeping this going, right? The small boat idea. There's a difference between a small boat with 30 people on and a big 747 jet or something with 1,000 on, or 800 seats or whatever, and them massive things in there. You see what I mean? So they're bringing in legally. Again, they're delivering them. See, like the Deliveroo, right? They're delivering, the people that were, these Africans and that. Delivering destruction, That's basically what they're doing, delivering destruction, see? Deliveroo, it's a piss take. Again, obviously the companies will be very Jew-owned. 2 fingers up, Deliveroo. And when you got Deliveroo, you got 2 zeros at the end, right? Which again codes with a net zero strategy, right? Build back greener, or build back blacker, You know, the green idea from the Egyptian gods, right? Net zero, and I think this is that they were basically net zero of natural people, you know. That's what they're aiming to do. Greenhouse gases, again, it could be like natural people. You know, the difference between between being born in the greenhouse and the artificial program, you know. So, you know, get rid of natural people, you know. I was dualistic. There's a couple of zeros on the Deliveroo. You have a double zero in flour, you know, flour production. The finest grind, you know, some ground redoing. Again, you know, when you know how to use all these type of ideas about grains and such, you know, the double zero, yeah, grind into dust, you know, ground them into dust. Of course, in this stuff, right, double agent is a field agent, you know, and you know, can a neighbour, right? That's highly dubious, like, right? Field agent. Of course, this stuff's all to do with the Royal Masonic, you know, like on Her Majesty's Secret Service and all that. The double agent, right? So you're talking about these Deliveroos. You know, everyone just thinks they're doing some, you know, they're actually on Her Majesty's Secret Service, you know, a field agent. They've got a mission in the air, you know. Of course, it's His Majesty's Service now, but still hers and proper, you know. So you see what I mean? The Deliveroo. Then we have like type of idea where, you know, Cain was a black man. Yeah, interesting stuff about that. Of course, Abel becomes Bella, Bella, which means white. Again, this, you know, this looks very dubious as to you know, why they're bringing in obviously the immigrants and that. Enoch's vision of Cain as a father of black people. So there's a lot of stuff like race stuff that they with this. Blacks themselves, believe it and all that as well, you know. We know the mark of Cain is basically the puncture mark for the transes, right? But you got on a different level, a profane level, right? You got the idea that the black man's skin was the mark of Cain, right? So if that's what they're teaching, that's sort of you know, the Negroes in Africa and all this, right? I mean, that's they're brainwashing them on purpose with the idea that there's some type of biblical war going on or something between whites and blacks. Right? Obviously, that's not going to be too good for the future if they're, you know, shipping Africans over into Europe. You know, but it makes sense as to why they are doing it, because obviously they're going to war on the white race. You know, the Jews and that. Another interpretation where the mark is white skin. Yeah. So, you know, they're deliberately doing an what do you call it, like a race difference. You know, so they're brainwashing these, you know, these black ones into thinking that the white has oppressed them for hundreds of years, if not thousands of years, right? And the white has done absolutely no to them, you know. They've just lived in Europe, you know, need whites, proper whites. Went over to bloody Africa or India, you know. It's been, you know, if it did happen. I was watching something good the other day where they said that there was maximum of 20,000 whites or British whites in Africa at the time, or India, when at the time when I suppose the British Empire was gone on, right? And that, even that's got to be inflated, you know. I would have said there was 2,000 and all Jews and all, you know. Not that they were whites at all. But obviously the shipping over the Africans to kill the white man, snuff him out, you know. So that's not Cain and Abel. You know, Abel becomes Bella, which becomes white. See? This is the thing I was watching yesterday. This one here, Queen Bob. Maybe it's a trans. In fact, it's probably a trans. But that's the one who was talking about the British Empire being maximum 20,000 people. Again, I would say that's inflated. I would say it was a maximum of bloody 1,000. We've seen we've seen the pictures of that Prince of Wales and that in his Indian mates. About half a dozen soldiers. I mean, that's all there is to it. But that's that Queen Bob. It's apparently on Twitter or something, like Instagram or something. Probably has useful information on it or whatever. And of course, when you're talking about this King Kong, this has to be basically a blueprint. Jewish Masonic blueprint. Of course, well known as being made in 1933 with King of the Beasts, King from the Congo, and of course in this one, guns, what he does is destroys all of the Western civilization, stamping on all the buildings and people, and then gets the white woman. That's it's obviously an African metaphor for an African, right? Come from Skull Island. Of course, they remake it every couple of years. They remake the same story every couple of years. I seen yesterday that the Dana Nor one, next year or something. They haven't even made it yet, but they're advertising it or something. So it's an important story because it's basically Jew Masonic story about importing the Africans into the white man's society and then let them run rampage and basically destroy the place. Right? As you see there, that Adrian Brody is obviously a total Jew, and he's in the more recent ones, like interesting to call it the eighth wonder of the world. Like Henry VIII. Like they've got to seven, and then this is the eighth. Of course, what he does is guns up that, which is supposed to be a symbol of the white man's civilization, and destroys it type idea. Second one, the remake, in about 1970s, he was on the World Trade Center. So now what happened on the 9/11 thing? So again, it's got to be symbolic of the destruction of the Western civilization and the white races, as what the 9/11 was basically. Right? So loads of ideas about it. They've done the same in Japan where they've made these type of things and all. Right? But what happens in this movies is the audience has sympathy for the ape, right? For Kong, and they have total sympathy for him, and when he stamps on people, they cheer and all that, because it's like the same, which is the same as Planet of the Apes. If you've seen the Planet of the Apes ones, it's the same, where they get you to have the sympathy for basically the African to destroy the white race, creating the sympathy, which is mentally, you know what I mean? It's so when it's well known that the audiences would cheer when like Kong stamped on a person, in the movie. So basically, they're applauding and cheering their own destruction, So mentally, total brainwashing. And again, like that trickery, trick you into rooting for your own destruction, as white race. Of course, he's after the white woman. Of course, what for? Like to breed a new race of people like the Kalergian, Just now you've got a Marion C. Cooper there, where you got Yvette Cooper doing the small boats, So, it's obviously the Kong idea is reflective of the Congo, which is obviously in Africa. A bit of a free there, like Democratic Republic of Congo.